So let's talk about today's trade. Three went loss, and first trade I took on London session, and it was a pretty clean trade, but end up having a loss, and because we had our overall bullish bias, I was targeting a call high up here, and we had a 5 minute breakup structure here, and we had this fair value gap where he came back in. It was actually inverse fair value gap where our model formed out, and then I took the trade but got stop rated. The reason I actually got stop rated here was I was not following proper time stop hunt sequence. Actually, I was a little bit dropped 15 second, so that's where I did the wrong thing, and I became the liquidation. Actually, if I had followed the proper stop hunt sequence, then this shouldn't have happened, and this could be a winning trade lately. But that's all. So I might not give it a plus, but I would give it a B plus. It's a B plus, something like 3 star, 2 star, whatever. Okay, I should have followed the proper stop hunt sequence, and sometimes you need 2-3 time frame alignment together. So this was the London session trade, overall all right. And then I took 2 trades in the New York AM session. Now this is where I really want to talk about. Okay, this is the thing that I really want to talk about here. So going into the day, let's just break it down to you guys. We just swapped the sell side levels, came to the 50% of the previous range here. Okay. Then we formed the model. We didn't have any form of internal sweep to this low, but then we formed an SMT and we inversed this 5-minute fair value gap. If you look at this one ended up holding quite nicely. Inversed it, came back, formed the model here, formed everything, and then you had this massive push to the upside. Okay, this was a 15-minute high. Now this is where the real confusion begins. That happened to me. If you look at this, how do you look at this? SMT 5-minute got inverse. You have this massive displacement to the upside. So this is becoming more of a break structure. What this tells you? You're gonna have a retracement, and then you can have a push to the upside. This is one perspective of thinking. Second perspective, you can see one of the bigger time frame buy side level got swept here. What are you gonna see? Possibly, if we are respecting, if you're not displacing through and you're respecting this, what you can possibly see price can go towards the next liquidity, which could be this low here or fair value gaps. Okay, here now one thing that I did quite a big mistake was I was the second, I was in the second thought process, which is this buy side got swept. We have a very high chance of coming towards this low. But first thing first, you have to see any fair value gaps or order blocks are there or not, where price might reach, which we had here. Order block as a break structure. This was order block. You can consider this one as a CISD order block, and you can consider this on a break structure. Whatever, this was order block and fair value gaps. That what ended up wrong is I went on the second thought process, which is we swept buy side. If you look at the 1 minute, we had SMTs at the highs. We swept internal, and there was a 30-minute order block as well. This was an internal sweep, displaced through this low nicely, have a massive displacement, and everything formed nicely. And I took the trade once I see we are respecting this. I took the trade somewhere around here, putting my stop up here, and I was targeting this low. And this was my external target, and got stopped out. Second trade I took was when I started thinking, okay, I might have got liquidated here right again, stop rated. So I took another entry from here, putting a stop up here, and same target, got stopped out. This was the 2 trade I took. Now, one thing you have to understand is you have to understand this perspective closely. Closely means, look, I said there is 2 perspectives. One is this, and second one is this. First thing could be this. Second thing could be this. Both are available here. Both can happen. So this is kind of becoming another kind of conflict zones. Conflict zones means when you are having 2 perspectives, and here is one perspective, here in one perspective. So it's a kind of conflict zone where you can't say specifically what's going to happen. So you got to wait and watch what price do. These are not areas where you can take trades, and if you even take trades, those trades are not high probability trades. And the first thing is that I mistake was, if price really have to go lower towards the sell side and coming back into this 1 hour fair value gap, I really need to say this. Once this buy side got swept, we have our massive displacement to the downside. We got our market structure shift here. If you look at this, where the market structure shift is happening? At the conflict zone. This is where the market structure shift is happening. This is the market structure shift line. See where it's happening? It's happening at the conflict zone here, right? Exactly. So if I want to take a trade here for the sell side, I would like to see more displacement. That means I want to see this fair value gap get ran through, and then this fair value gap get also ran through. I want to see nice big candles forming and forming fair value gaps as well, because I cannot consider a displacement without a fair value gap. Okay, always remember this. You cannot consider a displacement without fair value gaps. There should be some sort of gap, like volume gap, fair value gap, okay, breakaway gap, anything. But there has to be some sort of gap that consider price, that consider the pressure of buying power or selling power. Okay, that's why you should always have to have some form of fair value gap in displacement. Now, what's end up happening? I didn't notice this fair value gap here. So if you look at this one get respected and start pushing to the upside. So the idea of mine taking sell short position, the model was actually invalidated in the first place, even though you have your structural shift and anything, but you are inside a conflict zone and you're seeing your model playing out. So it's not a high probability model, and more chance it's there to get invalidated, and which happened here. So the first thought process of ours had played out. Break of structure, came back to respect this and push to the upside. So if let's say this doesn't have in order to what happened, like, you have to understand that what have to happen in the first place, so I can call that this won't happen, and instead of that this will happen. Like, instead of pushing to the upside, we'll go downside. In order to go downside, what have to happen first in this price action that can confirm us that we are going lower? There would be a few checklists, okay, in kind of scenarios like this. And always, like, we swipe buy side, but you're seeing this kind of scenario happening, but buy side is swiping. You are saying that, okay, I'm gonna sell. But in order to become a seller in the market, you have to understand which things to happen first for me to go buy. Now, in this case today, the things were missing, which I just said. In order for me to really become bearish and see these targets happen, I want to see, first of all, these fair value gaps get ran through. I want to see this. I want to see another big push to the downside. I want to see some form of fair value gap form against them. Then I would like to see price comes back into that, forms my model, show me another displacement down there. Then I can take the trade for this. This is the amount of confirmation structure I need to validate my bearish bias from here, depending on, because we swap this buy side. And if I really want to see price go to the downside and come back to this sell side and this sell side, I want to see these specific things happens. Then I could have confirmed this one as what? A bearish model. But this thing was absent here. Okay, so once this kind of scenario will always happen, so you have to understand what are the things that needs to be happening in order to confirm that bias of yours or that model of yours, and those checklists must need to be met. Then you have to place a trade. You have to go through plenty of confirmations, then you have to take the trade. Okay, so this was complete, like, just I didn't notice this, and everything was like you have to understand this. From here you have to be this kind of mindset, like what happens here. Okay, you have to adapt here. You have to see both of the things playing, what can happen. You have to think both things happening at the same time. This is forming a bullish model telling us we can go to the buy side, up here, this kind of telling. Now we have to understand that how we are reacting in this zones. Are you breaking through this, or we are supporting this range through lower time frame confirmations. You have to see lower time frame, higher time frame, both at the same time. Higher time frame wise, in 5 minutes you want to see those thing happens, and lower time frame wise you have to understand, are we respecting these levels or not? That means model wise, are we respecting this level or not, like this? Or higher time frame wise, are we disrespecting the levels or not? Okay, so nice loss, nice thing learned, pretty much very important lesson, and very important lesson, that's right. But really went this fair value gap, this thing really went unnoticed today, and so whatever. And this kind of scenarios always will be there. Like, this would be a very high probability trade if we haven't swept this buy side. Now you can also look that we kind of created a relative equal high. See, relative equal high, which is also confirming we have a very high chance of going higher. So these are the few things you have to see in the markets. You have to be more focused, and you have to analyze and notice these things, which I didn't or lacked today, possibly saying. So, important understanding, important rules or checklist to see in order to confirm these kind of areas, and always have to see and understand what needs to happen first in order to confirm your model and your bias. What are the things that needs to be respected, what are the things that needs to be disrespected, everything. Understanding these things here, right? Like this is becoming relative equal high, and this needs to be broken, then we can go down here. If respected, you have a very high chance of coming up here, these kind of things and everything. Okay, so nice day, 3 losses, and few things are noticed, gave me another lessons. So nice day, very nice day.